very warm welcome to you. It's a pleasure to have you join us again on Urban Finance and Wealth Reports this week. As you know, we are source for latest happening information in the financial sector of the nation's economy. My name is Faith Wadi. On this edition of the program, we'll take a breather from our usual lineup to bring you highlights of the 41st African Insurance Organization Conference and General Assembly AIO that took place recently in Kigali, Rwanda. The theme of the AIO conference this year was Insurance in Africa, the importance of technology, research and development. As always, over 600 delegates from within and outside the continent of Africa converged on the Serena Kigali Hotel for 3 days to deliberate on the theme and sub-theme papers of the conference. Speaking during the session, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, His Excellency Paul Kagame, employed the insurance industry on the continent to partner with African governments, especially in the areas of infrastructural development. At the end of the 3 days conference, delegates agreed that food security still remains Africa's most daunting challenge. As such, the insurance industry on the continent must adopt the use of technology, especially in crop insurance, by using satellite images with a view to reducing the processes of claims management and settlement. Being an African event, the rich cultural heritage of the African continent was also on display. I urge you as always to sit back, relax and spend this time with us, but all the details are coming to you in just a moment. Please stay with us.
The African Insurance Organization, AIO, is a non-governmental organization established in 1972 in Mauritius to promote inter-African cooperation and development of a healthy insurance and reinsurance industry in Africa. The membership of the organization is open to the insurance industry, regulatory supervisory authorities, insurance training centers, as well as national and regional insurance associations. Currently, the AIO have 326 members, 315 of them from 45 countries in Africa and 11 associate members from 7 overseas countries. The annual AIO Conference and General Assembly provides a platform for stakeholders in the insurance industry on the continent to brainstorm on how insurance can contribute meaningfully to national growth and development. The 41st edition of the AIO was recently held in Kigali, Rwanda. The theme of the conference this year was Insurance in Africa, the importance of technology, research and development. As always, over 600 delegates from across the globe converged at the Serena Kigali Hotel for 3 days to brainstorm the theme. In his welcome remarks, the Chairman Insurance Association of Rwanda, John Baptist Untukamzira, stated that the insurance industry in Rwanda has made significant progress since 1994 after the genocide in the areas of regulatory framework.
After the 1994 genocide, this country was left in ruins in every sector of the economy, insurance inclusive. The African Insurance Organization has been very instrumental in helping to rebuild the insurance sector through the inter-African technical cooperation. Rwanda's insurance sector has, for instance, managed to grow a gross premium turnover from nothing after the 1994 genocide to 8 billion francs in life business and 30 billion Rwandan francs in non-life in 2013. Before the 1994 genocide, Rwanda had only 2 insurance companies, one public and one private. Today, we have registered a significant increase to 11 insurance companies, local, regional, and international operating on the market. There was no regulatory framework in the country before 1994. Insurance sector operated in a rather confused and volatile environment. Today, we have a regulatory framework and a regulator in place, thanks to the central bank and the good leadership of this country who have made it possible for this sector to develop.
The AIO is recognized by governments across Africa. This is reflective in the presence of top government functionaries at the annual conference and General Assembly in any host country. The 41st Conference and General Assembly in Rwanda was declared open by the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning, Ambassador Claver Gatete. In his remarks, Ambassador Gatete stated that the insurance industry in most African countries are lacking behind the banking sector in the areas of technology and penetration.
The insurance sector in most countries are lagging behind the banking sector, especially in terms of penetration, in terms of using the technology. In the case of Rwanda, we've seen that really the banking sector has taken advantage of our implementation of the ICT strategy. We started when the payment system was slow. Now, almost all the banking system, the big, the small, the micro, the circles are all using the IT. Then they moved on to use, of course, the ATMs, which you can see around here, the POS, the use of mobile, the use of internet, and also going deeper, because rather than competing on opening branches, they are now competing using agency banking and also using the IT to make sure that they can reach everybody in the population. This is what increases inclusion when you are talking about financial inclusion. But we needed insurance also to do the same, to really look at the technology that you cannot reach everybody by just increasing the branches. You cannot rely on a few products. You need to go deeper and penetrate to make sure that you use the technology to help you to achieve that. I didn't want to take really much of your time for this. This is an industry that we support as government. This is an industry that is so critical for the development of any economy. There's no country that can do without it. And we are glad that really you came here to sit down and reflect and think of how to drive this insurance sector on the African continent, identifying the weaknesses, identifying the strength, and also advising us on how we can partner with you as we move the whole industry forward. Now, with these few words, I just wanted to now wish you all the best deliberations, and it's my pleasure to officially declare the 41st African Insurance Organization Conference and the General Assembly officially open.
With the opening ceremony over, delegates settled for serious deliberations on the theme and sub-theme paper of the conference. The first session focused on achieving competitive edge through technology, use of satellite in crop insurance, which was delivered by Mr. Frank Gozolink, Managing Director, Coin Ray, while the second session focused on emerging business models, technological innovation, and their regulatory implication. Speaker was Ms. Jackie Huma, Head Microinsurance Department, FSB South Africa. Both sessions were chaired by Mr. Sami Makove. The insurance industry on the continent is yet to take its rightful place. Successive studies by Finscope, GIZ, the ILO, Munich Ray Foundation, Senfree, and others have consistently found that the persistence and variety of risk faced by the mass market provides a strong foundation for a demand-driven approach to micro-insurance growth. The growth, however, can only be achieved through robust deployment of technology by the insurance industry in Africa in the sale of their products and services. The fourth session of the conference focused on mobile money and insurance business in Africa, new perspectives. The M-Pesa success story. Speaker was Mr. Robert Kolimar, CEO of Safaricom Limited, a leading communications company in Africa and pioneer of M-Pesa, the world's most developed mobile payment system. His session was chaired by Mrs. Grace Murazikwa, MD, Nakos Diamond Insurance Limited, Harare. In his presentation, Mr. Coleman said the real challenge for the insurance industry is that of trust.
One of the challenges that I think you have as an industry is distribution. You can't reach the furthest reach of rural Africa. So we've used our distribution network, and remember I also said we have 85,000 M-Pesa agents scattered around the world, scattered around, we do have worldwide ambitions sometimes, scattered around Kenya. We've used that distribution, or a large part of that distribution base, to help us to deliver this insurance policy. Incidentally, we're also trying not to call it an insurance policy because we're trying to deal with the issues of trust that you as an industry have. And that's proving to be a very successful product. We're building trust up here because the interesting thing about this product is that you don't have to pay you don't have to write a check for $139 because you don't have $139. But you might have 12 cents or you might have 15 cents. And we say, when you have that, then just pay it. If you don't have it tomorrow, then don't pay it. And you build it up because you use the M-Pesa system to simply transfer money into your insurance account effectively. The insurance then becomes effective once you hit the halfway threshold, which is 6,000 shillings. Once you hit 6,000 shillings, then some of the cover starts to kick in and you can continue to pay. All of my domestic staff are paid. All of them are covered by this insurance cover because it saves me having to pay the insurance, the hospital bill. And some of the challenges you face are around trust. It is around relevance. What you are selling to them is absolutely relevant to keep them alive and to keep them prosperous. But you have to embrace. You know, Africa has about 500 million people who are surviving on about $1 a day, $1.25 a day. That gives you about $1 billion a day of latent purchasing powers. If you continue to work like the banks did for so many years, so many decades, so many centuries, then of course mobile phone companies and banks and lots of other people will come and take that business away from you because they'll have more relevance. So, what is the power to unlock? The power to unlock is that first of all you change your outlook on life. I did an insurance award. I don't know why you insurance people keep asking me to come to talk to you, but I did an insurance award in Kenya a little while back, and I listened to them talk about selling the product. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't sell a product. You do something which transforms people's lives. Look at it in that context. Whether it is insuring their motor car, it's insuring their businesses, or it's insuring that geocali. Think about it in those terms. Change your outlook. The second is you have to embrace technology. I defy any one of you to put your hands up to say you don't have a mobile phone. You have to embrace technology. That is what's going to change your industry. And finally, you have to use that technology to give more value to your customers, but without inflating the middle line. If you continue to inflate the middle line, then you will never gain the trust of your customers.
The fourth session focus was on research and development as a tool for developing complex risk models. Speaker was Andres Baja of Alliance Global. With paper presentation over, delegates gathered for the General Assembly, which is the annual general meeting of the organization. The General Assembly is where the various groups in the AIO give reports of their activities for the year. Some of the groups are the African Aviation Pool, African Oil and Energy Insurance Pool, AIO Life Committee, African Insurance Brokers Association, IBA, and a host of others. The high point of the 41st AIO was the closing session where the President of the Republic of Rwanda, His Excellency Paul Kagame, addressed the delegates. In his remarks, Mr. Kagame stated that the low penetration of insurance on the continent is a challenge as well as an opportunity.
In Rwanda, as in many other African countries, the greater portion of foreign investment in the financial sector, including insurance, already comes from elsewhere on the continent. This demonstrates our growing confidence in Africa's future, which in turn enhances our attractiveness globally. In the last decade, financial empowerment has moved to the center of the development policy agenda. Innovations in banking and mobile payments have brought millions of Africans into the financial system for the first time, creating new pathways to prosperity. Yet, the role of insurance in financial inclusion is still too often an afterthought. In the next decade, this must change. The research and technology vision that you advanced during this conference will help drive this change. Let us continue to work together as governments and as companies all across our beautiful continent, pooling our know-how and resources until your products and services are within the reach of every family in Africa.
Among the resolutions reached at the end of the 41st AIO Conference and General Assembly was that there is need for the insurance industry to adopt the use of technology in crop insurance by using satellite images with a view to reducing the processes in claims management and settlement.
In appreciation of the importance and potentials of technology in reaching out to much larger number, the conference recognizes the need for the African insurance industry to embrace technology to drive its product development and deepen insurance penetration through deliberate collaborative efforts with partner organizations. 4. The conference agrees that food security is Africa's most daunting challenge and that increasing farmers' productivity is key to combating this challenge. It is therefore imperative for African insurance industry to adopt the use of technology in crop insurance by using satellite images with a view to reducing the processes in claims management and settlement. 5. The conference appreciates the need for collaborative efforts in addressing Africa's food security challenge, and the insurance industry must therefore ensure that we partner with agencies such as local banks, microfinance institutions, agricultural processors and buyers, government institutions, and non-governmental organizations, working together and harmonizing our efforts with a view to providing the most needed finance to support agricultural development in Africa.
Delegates to the AIO each year usually look forward to the closing dinner, which is a prominent feature of the conference. Before the closing dinner was the one hosted by Africa Re, where delegates were treated to sumptuous meal in a relaxed ambience. The closing dinner and gala night this year was no exception to the change of leadership, as friends and well-wishers witnessed the investiture of John Baptist Ntukamzina as the president of the African Insurance Organization for the next 1 year.
You are hereby installed as president of the African Insurance Organization and invested with all the powers, duties, and the responsibilities of that office. I wish you a most successful tenure. Congratulations.
I measure the responsibility that today you transfer to me, Mr. Code. But with the help of God, by the grace of God, with your contribution of everybody, I think we shall, at the end of my tenure, say that achievements that we had planned for will be attained. So, this evening, distinguished guests, the Rwandan insurance market, the local organizing committee, we hope to say that we are grateful for having been in Rwanda.
No doubt, the 41st African Insurance Organization Conference and General Assembly in Kigali, Rwanda was a huge success as delegates gave kudos to the local organizing committee and Ms. Priska Soares, the Secretary General of the organization, and her team for a job well done. The stage is now set for the 42nd edition, which will be hosted in Algeria. Since its inception in 1972, the agenda of the African Insurance Organization, AIO, remains the same. They are to increase business exchange among members, strengthen relationship, and also explore new areas that will improve acceptance of insurance products and services on the continent.
Alright, welcome back. Very interesting dance steps there, so similar to the cat dance of the Tiv people of Benue State of Nigeria. That's the time on this edition of the program. I do hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I always say here, for comments, questions, observations, do feel free to get in touch with us on 017763981 or 08033357879, or better still, send us an email, almond4xx@yahoo.com or almondproduction@gmail.com. You can also visit us on our website, www.almondreports.com. Do not forget also to like us on our Facebook page, Almond Finance and Wealth Reports. You can also view past episodes of this program on our YouTube channel, Almond Reports TV. Do not not forget also to join us every Wednesday by 9:45 a.m. live on Niger FM 102.7 for our Pidgin English program called Waiting Insurance, They Do Safe. My name is Faith Uwode. Until same time, same station next week, where we'll come your way with a fresh package of this program from all of us here. It's goodbye.